For real though. For real though. Number one, let me just start this video off by saying I'm probably gonna seem a little agitated with this goddamn wig going on up and around, up and through this piece, y'all. I'm a little annoyed with her. She doesn't, of course, she's not made like this. She has this, but I'm not feeling this part over here. She a little thin in this vicinities over here, and I'm really not feeling it. So I got her kind of swoop like this, because I mean, she gonna start to get on my goddamn nerves. But since we got a whole lot of shit to cover with this 11 hip hop Atlanta bullshit, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this, because we don't want to, you know, focus all up and round up and through this piece. But if y'all want to see the review on this wig, this is a Vanessa Smart wig in the style Casey. But check out my thrifting channel. I talked about her over there. Go and check her out, girl, because I have the review uploading as we speak, okay? Girl, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 4, Episode 5. I don't even know the fucking title of it, girl. It don't even really matter, girl. But let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this bullshit right here. Okay, so of course it starts off. Y'all know I got my notes, because bitch, it's hard for me to even concentrate on this foolishness and fuckery. I mean, because it's scripted, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't really, you know, ain't no flow to it. So you can kind of say, you know, I get a little agitated and thing, damn bitch, some shit aggravate me on my eyeball and shit. So it starts out with Margot and Joseline meeting up. Apparently, Joseline found out that Margot is in town. So she saw her in the blogs, and she decided to meet up with her and all this shit because she wants to be messy, because we all know that Joseline is a messy ass psycho motherfucker. So she decides to meet up with Margot and you know, be messy and let her know about a little bit about what's going on with Mimi and how she's shady and all this old type of shit, right? So because apparently Joseline is still kind of salty about, you know, the little meeting that they had. So she wants to start some shit because, you know, that's natural. That's what she do. She's a messy ass motherfucker. So she decides that she wants to meet up with Margot and be messy. So Margot proceeds to say that she feels comfortable telling Joseline about the little situation that's going on with her and Nico. What makes her so comfortable with Joseline, I have no idea. Maybe she don't watch TV. Maybe she don't read the internet, the blogs and shit like that to know that Joseline is a messy ass motherfucker. But then again, this is a Mona Scott, you know, scripted shit. So, you know, I'm pretty sure Mona Scott just told her to say that, okay? Because we all know who the fuck would feel comfortable telling Joseline their business. Girl, boom. So she tells Joseline that it was all Mimi's idea to make the sex tape and to leak it to get some money, okay? So, of course, ain't nobody shocked about that, and she's basically saying that Mimi's playing the victim when it was all her doing as far as, you know, putting this sex tape out there and all this type of stuff. And then that shit went off. Then next thing we know, we come to Mimi having this meeting with, what the fuck is her name? Tiffany Fox, you know, and she wanted to apologize to her about when, you know, Stevie J was all drunk and shit at her performance and telling her she still wants to work with her, give her a trial run to show her what she's able to do, and they can go from there. So that was that. So Mama D and her ex-husband are meeting up at this chicken spot, okay? Well, they didn't meet up. He took her on a date to this chicken spot. Which, motherfucker, you ain't no fancy motherfucker. So why is you trying to act like you ain't from the hood, girl? Talking about why he taking me to a chicken joint. Girl, quit acting like you ain't from the motherfucking hood. You already said you was a pimp. So quit trying to act like you was always eating filet mignon, boo-boo, Mama D. Stop doing that bullshit. You was not always eating filet mignon, okay? This shit is kind of annoying when you got people who came from the bottom. They act like they always been up here. Bitch, you ain't at the... I'm not gonna call Mama D no bitch. Lord knows I'm not. Lord forgive me, because y'all know how I talk, so I'm not calling her a bitch. You get what I'm saying? I just talk like that. But Mama D, quit trying to act like you was always up here when you started out down here, girl. Don't do that. So of course, you know, he's telling her how he, you know, wants them to still, you know, try to get back together and work that shit out and all this type of stuff. So he tells her, you know, he pushes a drink towards her and he tells her to look inside. So, you know, he put a ring on a cherry that's in the drink, and she's like, oh, you got to come with something better than this. You got to come with something better than this. Like, did you get this out of Cracker Jack box? Mind you, the nigga just got out of jail. Okay? He just got out of jail. It ain't like the brother got no money. Y'all see this motherfucking wig already fucking me, y'all. It ain't like he got no money. At least he tried, okay? Tried. I just thought there was a little tie-up for her to say some shit like that. Did you get this out of a Cracker Jack box? He was like, look, I ain't no fancy dude. He said, I'm just trying to show you my appreciation, yada, yada, yada. And he basically got the ring back and he put it down in her wine. She said, no, you didn't. No, the hell, you didn't put this down in my wine. But she eventually told him, go ahead and put it on my finger. I apologize. I hurt your feelings. Yada, yada, yada. Moving on. But Mama D, she acting like she was a real fancy motherfucker. And she need to remember where she came from. Because just to show us you got it, you can get it taken away from you, boo. So you need to be humble. She get on my damn nerve with this throne shit and this queen and king and prince shit. She get on my nerve with that bullshit right there. But that's basically about that situation right there. So Joseline meets up with Carly Red to help her pick out some invitations, girl. Of course, scripted, of course. So Carly Red comes and she's like, why you got me in this store with these letters and shit? Bitch, you know damn well what the hell was about to pop off with this situation. So she's telling her she gonna have some type of party and all this stuff, and tell her how she met up with Margot, and Margot told her about Mimi, etc., etc. And of course Carly Red acting like she's all surprised. Girl, you already knew what was popping out. We all knew that Mimi put out that motherfucking tape, and she ain't no damn victim. She was just using Nico as the scapegoat, okay? So, and then she starts, you know, Carly starts telling her about Jessica Dime and all that stuff, and Joseline basically is telling her, look, you got some people who may know you, may have seen you, or may went to school with you, and they telling people, oh yeah, I know her. Once you get on TV and all this stuff, and they're trying to make people think that, oh yeah, I know her and all this stuff. No, you know of me, you don't know me, like that. So she's basically saying her and Jessica Dime were never cool like that, while she's talking about you ain't answering the phone. So y'all know how I feel about the Jessica Dime bitch, and I'm gonna talk about her a little bit later in this review. She's an annoying motherfucker, and they need to go ahead and kick off the show. She already annoying me. For real, okay? So next, Kirk, you know, it goes to Kirk, and, you know, in this house he's building and all this shit. Rasheeda shows up, and she's saying she's getting all these notifications about him taking out these large sums of money. Apparently, he took out $32,000 in one day and spent it in one day. And she tells him she's freezing the accounts and all this shit because he's not supportive of her getting her store and all this stuff. And since he want to go and, you know, he's $100 in the hole on his house and he don't want to help her get no store, it's all about Kirk. So she's saying she's gonna put a freeze on the account. He's telling her, no, you won't be doing that, boo. This is joint money. So, you know, it's all you know, that's Mona Scott, some house Mona Scott done built probably. Ain't no damn telling what it is, girl. So anyway, now Jessica Dime is having a meeting with Mimi, discussing, you know, what all Mimi can do for her, yada, yada, yada. And she's basically telling her, yeah, I got some other artists. I got some other managers who are interested in working with me. But she said, I'm willing to, you know, give you a chance and all this stuff. And Mimi tells her about, you know, how Stevie J is in rehab and all this stuff. And she tells her, well, I'm not going to let him stop my hustle. I'm still going to get my hustle on, and I want to work with you, etc., etc. So, of course, this bitch, she tells her about that she's working with Tiffany Fox as well. And Jessica Dime like, oh, you're not going to have no time for this bitch. You know, you're not going to have no time for her. It's going to be all about me, Jessica Dime, not Tiffany Fox. So she just annoying as hell to me. So then Mama D goes to tell little Scrappy about how she's back with Ernest. And Scrappy's cool with it, but he proceeds to say that he knows his little sister, she got an issue with it because a lot of things that went on in their childhood with Ernest and how he treated their mom back in the day. But, you know, Scrappy basically saying, yeah, he did a lot of nasty shit to my mom, but she did a lot of nasty shit to him. And, you know, it kind of balanced each other out. Not just that, apparently he did some good in their lives. So Scrappy don't have a problem with it, but the little sister got a whole lot of problem with it. And I see it's going to be a big mess in the next episode. So looking forward to that. So then Kirk, Tony, and Joc are at the sports bar, and Tony's telling him about, you know, how his situation, and Joc, you need to borrow some money from Kirk, and Kirk starts telling him about, nah, me and Rasheeda already having a whole lot of issues, money issues, and we arguing about money and shit like that, so I ain't got no money to loan, you know, $75,000, and Tony and his wife, they already ain't got a whole lot of money in the bank as it is, and he want to take the money out and do this get rich quick scheme shit, and she feels some type of way about it, especially having a new child. I would feel some type of way about it as well. So, and of course, Joc is telling them about, you know, Cena and KD and how they had their little situation, how Cena recorded him and KD. I'm sorry, how Cena recorded him and her doing that little thug thistle and showed it to KD. And apparently KD, you know, left his ass, and I guess he wanted to get her back or whatever, but he don't know how to do it. So then it flashes, Faith Evans actually meets up with Stevie J. Her and Stevie J and, you know, Biggie back in the day, they were cool. You know, they were in the studio together and all this stuff. And he's basically telling her about how he's, you know, all serious about his recovery. But Joseline still want to smoke, drink, and all this stuff. And he said it's not good for his recovery. And he really wants her to be on board, you know, because he loves her. He wants her to be on board and stop drinking and smoking and all this stuff because it's really not good for him as a, you know, wanting to stay sober and her to still be out there drinking and smoking and all this shit is really not good for his sobriety. Basically what he's saying. She gonna get this motherfucking ass thrown back in jail. They tell you in a minute. If you are a recovering addict, you can't go back to the house with a motherfucker who's still smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be a whole nother situation. But he's basically saying that he wants her to get better. And I don't blame him for wanting that, okay? So we're going to see what happened with that situation. So he says he want to get back in the studio with Faith Evans. She said, you know, you get yourself together. Hey, we'll see what we can do. We can see if we can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I'm rooting for Stevie J for real because he seemed genuine about the situation. I hope he's genuine, and I hope he can talk some sense into Joseline motherfucking ass. Okay. So Scrappy's having lunch with his baby sister, her baby daddy, and Bambino and all this shit, and they basically talking about, you know, Ernest and how they looking forward to the dinner, and she's little Scrappy's sister saying how she thinks Ernest is an opportunity. He done got out of jail, and the first person he called is Mama D. Hell, that's probably the only person he knew. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, she sent you to jail, and the first person you call when you get out of jail is her. A lot of people do that. So it's not really fascinating that he's doing it. So she says she thinks that he's using her for her money because Mama D got a song out and all this shit, and I guess she's rich. I looked up her net worth. Mama D is worth like $300,000, so it's not like she's rolling in the dough in the millions and shit. She got more money than I got, but it's not like she got this whole lot full of money. But it's not unnatural for a person to get out of prison and go right back to the person who put them in prison. So it's not unnatural, okay? So, but yeah, I'm interested to see that dinner that they're supposed to be having at Little Scrappy's house in the next episode, okay? So then Joseline is having this little salsa situation, and she only invited a couple people. You got Carly Red there, and this chick came in there named Prima Donna. I think I've heard about her. She's the girl that does the waist centers and things like that. And then she told me she got a surprise. So they sitting there having a conversation. She's introducing Prima Donna to Carly and all this stuff. And then they get a knock on the door, and it's Margot. Okay, so Margot comes in there, and she's basically telling them, because of course they trying to pretend like they don't know that Mimi is the one that put this whole sex tape situation out there. So she's telling them about how Mimi is the one who orchestrated the sex tape situation. Like they didn't leave no bag in the airport and nobody find it, and then it just so happened to get in the hands of the biggest porn producer in the world. So she's basically telling them, yeah, Mimi's the one that put it out. So that's gonna be a whole another situation right there. So I can't wait till her and Mimi actually meet face to face. Okay, now Mimi sets up a meeting with Jessica Dime and Jazzy Faye. Okay, we all know that Jazzy Faye is this big time producer. He's always in the studio with these big artists and all this stuff. And Mimi was able to get a meeting with Jazzy Faye and Jessica Dime and all this stuff. So they're sitting there having a conversation. He's asking her about herself and all this stuff. And she's basically saying how she ain't nobody up to her standards. She's basically on her own level and all this type of stuff. Then Tiffany Fox walks in and she's like, why did you bring her into my meeting? And Tiffany Fox like, hold up, I don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jessica Dime was just going all kinds of off, talking about that, you know, that's unprofessional. You don't bring nobody up in my session and all this stuff. And Jazzy Faye like, hold on, you know, don't do that up in my building, all this type of stuff. Then her and Tiffany Fox get into an altercation, not a physical altercation, but a verbal altercation. And Tiffany Fox like, you know what, it's a wrap, I'm out of here. And she basically tells Mimi, the future of me and you working together is null and void because it was really unprofessional for you to bring me into Jazzy Faye's studio with this bitch in here and not tell me that it's going to be a joint meeting. You know what I'm saying? So Mimi fucked up in that situation. So Tiffany Fox basically tells her it's over, it's out, you know, I'm done. And Jazzy Faye is like, you know what, I don't even want to hear nothing that your motherfucking ass did. Tells Jessica Dime this. I don't even want to hear your motherfucking music because you just totally disrespected my studio by being up in here arguing and shit after I told y'all to keep it down. But you decide that you want to get all extra, acting like you all royal and shit, talking about you don't, gonna tell Mimi, I told you don't have time for nobody else but me. You don't invite nobody else into no meeting with me. And Jazzy Faye tells her, you know what, I don't want to hear none of your shit. You need to excuse yourself and get the hell out of my motherfucking studio. He didn't say motherfucking studio, but he basically shut her motherfucking ass down and told her to exit stage motherfucking left while she's in his motherfucking studio getting all loud and arguing with this chick. Tiffany Fox didn't even come in there with no attitude, but Jessica Dime decided that she wanted to get all extra and shit. So I would have cussed her motherfucking ass out too, but Jazzy Faye told her to exit motherfucking stage left. You will not come in my establishment disrespecting my shit. So he told Mimi, I don't want to hear her motherfucking shit. Bye bye. I do not want to work with this bitch and I do not blame him. Y'all, this shit is so ratchet and all. Y'all, bitch, I cannot wait until we get shown up in the meat and potatoes of this motherfucking season. It's going to be some foolishness and some fuckery. I have a feeling that Joseline and Stevie J are probably going to get in some type of altercation and they're going to end up breaking up because she's going to be fucking up his sobriety. But we shall see in the coming episodes. Y'all be sure to head on over to Thrifting Thick Chick as well as Thick Chick TV. I have a couple of long videos over there on Thick Chick TV. Y'all go and check that out. Also go and add me on Facebook. My name on Facebook is ThickChickVlogs, but as always, those links will be down in the description box below. And I will talk to you next time. Also leave comments in the comment section about what y'all thought about this episode, girl. Ratchet as hell. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.